Okay, in this video, I want to talk about how to determine whether two straight lines are parallel or perpendicular. Now here we have this property. If two straight lines have slope of m1 and m2, then these two straight lines are parallel if and only if their slopes are the same. And these two straight lines are perpendicular if the product of their slopes is -1, or if one slope is a negative reciprocal of the other. Okay. Now let's use this property and take a look at some examples. So here I graph straight line, use this equation. Now please keep in mind, here the equation I'm using is in the slope intercept form. So from this equation, 2 is the slope and 1 is the y-intercept, right? So the y component of the y-intercept is 1. Okay, now if I want to graph another straight line which is parallel to this, according to the property, the second straight line I'm gonna graph must have the same slope, and its y-intercept, it doesn't matter. Okay. Now what if I want to graph a third straight line which is perpendicular to both of them? So I need to think about, okay, because from this property we know that if straight lines are perpendicular, then the product of their slope is -1. So I need to think about which number, when the number multiplied by 2, the result is -1. Or we think about which number is the negative reciprocal of 2. Now the reciprocal of 2 is 1/2. However, this line is not perpendicular, right? Because we need to change this into a negative reciprocal. So not just only reciprocal, but also is negative. Now this blue line is perpendicular to both of them. Okay. Now let's use this property to look at some of the problems in a homework. Let's take a look at this example. So here we're given these two straight lines. We're given their equations, and we want to determine whether they are parallel, perpendicular, or just intersecting with each other. Now please pay attention. Since here the equation we're given are in standard form, so therefore we cannot see what are the slopes, right? We cannot see, because here the reason we can see the slope is because the equation is written in the slope intercept form. So therefore, to solve this problem, first we need to rewrite each equation into the slope intercept form. So let's start to do this, and then let's recall the equation of the intercept form is like this: y equals mx plus b, right? So this requires that we need to isolate the y with x. So let's start with the first equation. 2x minus y equals 4. So we can isolate the y by subtracting 2x. So we have negative y equals negative 2x plus 4. And then we divide by negative 1. So this equation be 2x minus 4. So when we convert the first equation into the slope in the step 4, the slope is a 2. Okay. Now let's take a look at the second equation, 4x minus 2y equals 17. So first we subtract 4x. So the equation becomes negative 2y equals negative 4x plus 17. And then we divide by negative 2. So let me write here. So after we divide by negative 2, the right hand side is a y, and the left hand side is y, and the right hand side is a 2x minus 17 over 2. Okay, so after we convert these two equations into the slope-intercept form, we can say both of them have the same slope too. So according to our property, we know that these two straight lines, they are parallel. So we choose this answer. Okay. Okay. Now let me do another example. Let's see here. We are given, we're asked to graph a straight line, and this straight line is parallel to the line gx equals negative 6x minus 4, and this line contains the point 7, 2. Okay, so what this problem is talking about is so right now we're given this straight line gx equals negative 6x minus 4, and we're given a point 7, 2. So we wanna graph a straight line that is parallel to this straight line, and also passes this point. So we want to graph a straight line, something like this. So it's parallel to this one, and passes the point. Now, because we know that these two lines are parallel, so they must have the same slope, right? They must have the same slope. So therefore, for this line, its slope is negative 6. So how do I know its slope is negative 6? Because this line, the line we're given from the equation, we can see that its slope is negative 6. And also because this straight line, it contains the point 7, 2. So if we use the point slope form, we can find the equation of this straight line. So the point slope form is the equation is given by y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So this says if a straight line has a slope m and the straight line contains the point x1, y1, then the equation can be determined by this formula. So now the m is -6 and x1 is 7 and the y1 is 2. So we can use this equation to find this straight line. So it's y minus 2 equals -6 times x minus 7. Okay, so let me go ahead to type this answer. So y minus 2 equals -6 times x minus 7. Now you see, the straight line we generate is parallel to gx, and it passes the point 7, 2. Okay. So let me type the answer. But because here when we are asked to put the answer, you notice that this is fx. So therefore we need to separate the 2 with the y. So we want to rewrite the answer into y equals -6 times x minus 7 plus 2. Right. Okay. So here we're not required to simplify this equation because the problem doesn't ask us to write the equation into standard form.